Hey everybody, welcome back to the video. So today we're going to be learning about styling in ReactJS. So let's get started. So basically styling exists in three ways. Basically you can perform it in three ways. The first way is by using external style sheets. The second way is by using inline, and the third way is by using modules. So the thing I recommend you guys is using is modules because I'll just say you guys later. So let's go ahead and first of all create a new folder or a new file for this. New file. We're gonna name it test.js. So we have our new file right here. And now what we can do inside this file is I'm just gonna have some code. So I'm gonna use a functional component. Let's go and do that. Hello. And in this, what I'm gonna have is I'm gonna have a return statement, and I'm gonna return an h1 tag saying hello. And now inside this h1 I need a class so that I can customize this. So normally what we would do in HTML is we're just gonna have something like this: class equals, and then you're gonna put the class name. So I'm just gonna put a text. But if you saw my HTML, it would be like this. But in JavaScript it's not like that, because the class is already a reserved keyword. Basically it already exists, so we cannot do that. So we can do class name. And now that's the same way too. That does the same thing. And now let's go ahead and go to our external style sheet, which is basically our index.css. But before going, let's go ahead and export this. Export default hello. And by the way, I didn't create this index.css. This was already there if you observed it. So yeah, this was already there. It might be for you guys if you follow my tutorial. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have dot text. And inside this dot text, what we can do is we can change the color. So we can change the color to be blue. Let's put a semicolon. Background color to be, let's put yellow. And now you don't have to export this or import it right here, so you don't have to, but you're gonna import this later. So let's go ahead and see that. So we are basically exporting this, and now let's go ahead and import this right here. So let's go ahead and do import hello, and let's go ahead and go right here, and we're gonna return saying our hello tag. There we go. So now we are returning it. So basically what we are doing is we are using this external style sheet to change this class text to be this specific thing. So we're changing the color to be blue, the yellow. And the reason this index.css is not that great, because it's basically gonna be used for small projects, because sometimes you're gonna write the file name wrong and stuff. So yeah, and it's just gonna be for small projects. So let's go ahead and see our output. So this is our output. This is how it looks like. Let me go and reload it. Hello, and the background color is yellow. So that works. So that's how this thing works, and we right here have it too. So color is blue, and background color yellow. So that works. Now let's go ahead and see something called modules, which I would recommend you guys using this, because as I said, the file thing would be wrong and stuff. So yeah, we don't need this right now. Let's go ahead and delete all this right here and close this. So the only thing we need right now is app and test, and also another thing we need is a new folder. So let's go ahead and do test folder. There we go. And now we are gonna put this inside the test folder, just like that. And let's go ahead and do it. It didn't work for some reason. And we're gonna click move and update imports. If you want, you can, but I'm just gonna click yes. There we go. So we successfully did it. Now what we can do is we can create a new file, and in this file what we're gonna do is we are gonna have our module. So I'm just gonna say text. You don't have to name this text, you can keep it A or anything, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna put text, but the thing that matters is this part, .module.css. So the reason why we are using this is to create a module. So normally every people are gonna use this if they are using module styling. So that's why you need .module.css. That's like 100% required. And inside this we're gonna put our code. So the same code we have, but inside this you don't have to export, but you have to import right here. So we are gonna import styles. You can put styles, so there we go. We're gonna import from the dot, let's go ahead and do /text.module .css. So that's where we are importing all the styles from. And now what we want to do is we want to change this class name. We are going to make a change for this. We are going to have a curly braces. We are going to put something called styles, which is basically our styles right here. Dot, and then we can just put something like this. So we can just keep the text, which is basically our class right here. Since it's text, we can put dot text. If it's any other thing, you can put it. So this is basically your class. And let's see if the here changed. And there we go. The path also did change. Test folder, and that does change too. So that's how this thing works. So let's go ahead and go to our live server or our React app. There we go. So even though I reload this, it still works. Hello, and the background color is yellow. So that's how this module.css works. And normally by seeing it, it's literally so clean, and you don't have to. You're just focusing on a specific thing. And yeah. So I just recommend you guys using the text module.css. And now what we can do is, since we don't need the module, let's go ahead and delete this. First, we need our test.js. We are gonna move, we're gonna click yes, and we are gonna remove the test folder since we don't need it. Move to recycle bin. There we go. So we have our test.js right here. Now we are gonna remove this since we don't have any text module.css, so we can remove that. And now what we are going to be focusing on is our inline. So now what we can do is we can create a variable. Let's go ahead and do const. And inside this, what we can do is you can name this anything. Since I already have styles, I'm going to name that. And let's go ahead and click that. And now we can have equals, and then what we can do is we can have the curly braces, and inside this we want to have the class name, which is text, but this time we're not going to use any dot or so. We're going to use text, and then you need this, and then you need that. And that's how you write inside the inline. I know it's a lot, but it sometimes works too. It actually sometimes is pretty better than modules and so yeah. So inside this, what we're going to do is we're going to have color, and we're gonna set it to be blue. So this thing should be in a camel case, which is basically how this thing should be like. So color, and this should be in a string, basically these quotes, and then you're gonna separate this by a comma instead of a semicolon. And now what you can do is we can set the background color, and the background color also should be in a camel case. Normally we would do this, but that's not how you do it inside it. You're gonna do in a camel case, which is background color, just like that. So the C should be capital. And now what we can do is we can put yellow. Let's go ahead and do that. And if you have more, you can put a comma, but I don't have more. But you don't have to put this comma, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just gonna put it. Now if I go right here, it still doesn't work. So to make it work, what you have to do is you have to change this class name to be style, and that's basically how you're gonna do it. And now that works. So hello is blue and the background color is yellow. So there we go. So that's an example of inline. So that's it for today's video. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.